All right, we're looking at 1B.3. And 1B.3 says, I can convert an expression from exponent form to radical form by simplifying the expression using properties of exponents. So this is a combination of what we just did in B2 and what we did in target A. Okay, so we're now bringing target A into this. Okay. So if we look at our first example, I want to switch this to radical form, but right now I have things, and remember, if I don't see any operation, just parentheses, those are being multiplied. Okay, so I have things that are being multiplied. And so the first thing I have to do is multiply those together, okay? Remember, when we were multiplying, we took our coefficients. Okay. Now I have an x and an x. So that's my base. And then remember, when multiplying, we add our exponents. Okay, so those are our rules from target A that we still are using. So we want to remember, okay, when we multiply, we add our exponents. 6 times 7 is 42. X. 5 plus 1/2. Remember, don't be afraid to use a calculator. 5 plus 1 divided by 2 is 11/2. So I have 42x to the 11/2. Now, I do want to switch these to radical forms. And remember, radical form means you have that, right? So, there we go. Here, there's no parentheses. So, I'm going to bring that 42 down in front. And then, middle. Oops. Right, left. Okay. So we have 42, and again, we don't have to write that too. We can hide that if you would like. All right, so it could just be 42 square root of x to the 11th. All right, go ahead, pause the video and try example 2. At this time, you should have an answer for example 2, right? Same thing that we started with the last one, we're multiplying, right? And we multiply our numbers in front. Then we have our base, these are both x's. And then we add our exponents. So we have 7/4 plus 4. 6 times 2 is 12. X. 7/4 plus 4 is 23/4. Again, you can use a calculator. Now that we've multiplied, we're switching it to radical form. Again, that 12 is not with the x, so it goes on the outside. Then I have middle, right, and then left. So 12 times the 4th root of x to the 23rd. Okay. All right. Looking at our next examples, right now we have the fraction bar. Remember, the fraction bar means division. So 4 and 2 gives me 4/2. Right, just like when we were multiplying, we multiplied our exponents, our coefficients. Now that we're dividing our coefficients. Okay. Then these have the same base. And then I want to subtract my exponents instead of adding my exponents. 4 divided by 2 is 2. X. 5/3 minus 1/3 is 4/3. Okay, if you're still struggling with typing these things into your calculator, please just let your teacher know. We'd be happy to help you. Now, again, we're writing this in radical form. This part should be exactly the same as what we did, right? The 2 comes down, middle, right, left. Okay? So 2 cubed root of x to the 4th. All right, go ahead, pause the video and try example 4. All right, at this time, you should have an answer for example 4. Okay. Again, we start with our coefficients. We do have 15 over 3. Then these have the same base. And then again, division means I'm subtracting those exponents. 1/2 minus 1/10. 15 divided by 3 is 5. X, 1/2 minus 1/10 is 2/5. Again, drawing that radical, the 5 just comes down because there's no parentheses. Sorry about the bell. Then we have our middle, our right, and our left. All right, let's look at example 5. Now we have our power rule. This was what we did in target 1A.5, right? So now when we have our power rule, remember here, again, both of these get the 1/4. So 81 has its own exponent of 1, right? And then x has an exponent of 8/7 and that 1/4, okay? Whatever's on the outside goes to both. Now again, simplifying this, I don't see a variable until that x. So 81 to the 1 times 1/4 is what goes here. And then 8/7 times 1/4 is 2/7. Okay, so then variable, and then this goes in our calculator. So that's kind of how it's split up in that work. Okay. And now we get to do just the same thing of switching it. Okay, so kind of remembering all your different rules is the difficult part of this. Which rule you're using when, but then once you have it simplified, it's all the same, right? Right. Or like middle, right, and then my 7 on the left. Okay. So 3 and then the 7th root of x squared. All right, go ahead, try example 6. Pause that video. All right, at this time, you should have an answer for example 6. All right, we're going to start the same way. 64 has an exponent of 1, so it's 64 to the 1st, and then it also gets that 1/3. And then x has 9/5, and it also gets an exponent of 1/3. Then I'm going to take 64 to the 1 times 1/3 in my calculator. We get 4. And then the x. And then I type this in my calculator. And we get 3/5, I believe. Then again, we're just switching it into a radical form. The 4 comes down. And then we have our middle. Switch colors. All right, our middle, the right, and the left. Okay, so you have 4 times the 5th root of x cubes. All All right, and that is it. Go ahead and work on your B3 activity.